Hello. Good morning, everybody. Um, I know it has been a minute. I'm so sorry for that, but here we are, an impromptu live stream today, and hopefully I can get back into some sort of rhythm with this. Let me just fix that there. There we go. Good morning, Laurel. How are you today? Okay. I'm gonna be full of randomness today because it's been so long since I've done this and I've been saving up some stuff to work on here. And um, yeah, I just have a lot I want to do. So I'm going to just kind of random it. So I have, what is this? Okay, I had a lot of fabric I need to put up. Got woken up by tripping smoke detector. Ooh, that's no fun. Got woken up by a cat sitting on my face. So, I mean, there's that. Really, he sits on my chest and he bumps his head against my face constantly, like, wake up and pet me. See, I thought, okay, it's there. Right, so I have, this is a finish that I had last year that I plan to rekit, but not today. At least he doesn't fart in your, I mean, I would not be a very happy cat mom at that point. This is another one I plan to rekit to be able to give away, but I'm not doing that today. And then I have all this fabric. So let me grab some fabric boards. The I'm using a different camera for the On Me camera, and so you get to see a lot of the shed and me walking around. So that's great. Have it manageable in here to be able to do things, but there's still improvement that needs to happen and will eventually. Sticker sheet quilling. So what are you working on today, Laurel? Did you get your start in yesterday? So this is one of the Fight Night things I got. I want to say this one was a long time ago that my friend Vicky ended up claiming it for me because she just happened to be at it and then she sent it to me. Supposed to be working on Dreidel Dreidel, but my stitching has sucked all weekend. Yes, I did do my start yesterday. I did one of my starts yesterday. I did the one that needed to be started on the 14th yesterday, but I didn't get 100 stitches into it. So I am going to try to finish that up here on stream. And then my other start is supposed to be today. So that's something else I'd like to get started while we're here. I'm going to get a couple of these done first because I have a whole package here of fabric that needs to be put up. So this one is, hey, Vintage. How are you this morning? Why is Twitch not showing up on my chat? You're lurking. Aren't you going live soon? You need to pop out the chat. Maybe then it'll work. Good morning, Lorlor. It is. It is. I feel like it definitely needs a Halloween piece on it. Yep, in about 15-ish. Okay. Yeah, I debated. I was like, I usually watch Vintage on Sundays, but it's when I had time to be able to go live. And I haven't in so long now. Okay, so I got both chats working. Hi, Betty. Thank you, thank you. All right, so this is Toil and Trouble. I love a good Friday night fight night. I missed the last one. Of course, kind of too broke for it right now anyway, but you know, um, this is a Verdal, which is a 40 count even weave. And this is Stitch Me. And it is a 40 count. I made these stickers myself. And stick them on the corner here. You can tell I've used this board before, and I just put a new sticker over it. And use it again. No sense in being wasteful. All right. Now, I think I go 2 ways the other way. Verdal is so soft. It is such a nice fabric to work on. And to just pet. Ooh, look at that purple in there too. So, I'm doing this wrong. Droba. There's all kinds of colors in here. My camera is not picking it up, but there's like a blue-green in here. There's orange. We got some purple. It's really pretty. Definitely looks like something you'd see come out of a cauldron, I think. Which is what I think of when I hear of Toil and Trouble. And I bought these clips. I'm not using the pins anymore. Go ahead and throw some of these up here. And there we go. All right, and I'm actually going to pin one to the board itself so it doesn't slip. Just there you go. And there's one done. And I just had Lexi redo my boxes so they're all nice and neat, because whenever we do the kitting up on stream, um, they always get totally chaotic. So I had her sit down and reorganize them for me. All right. Next. What do we got in here? So this is one of the fabric of the months from Atomic Ranch. I have an auto ship going on Tiny Hummingbird Stitchery, and of course, you know, I have to get a piece too. And I can sign people up going forward if I need to, but I also have some extra cuts that come in that go into the fabric album on my Facebook page. So if you see something you like, I might have a couple pieces ready to ship. All right. So this is, it's called Forget Me Not. I think this was February's color. I'll check that here in a minute. I get the Lugana. Atomic Ranch. He's supposed to be billing me any day now for next month's, or for this month's. It's a 32 count. Oh, I do want to see what. Did I bring my phone? I'm sure I did. Um, oh, I brought it out with that. It's sitting like, yep. Okay. Trying to see what month is what color. Maybe their website. Atomic. Can't remember. Oh, here we go. February. So I'm just going to write a little note down here that says February, fabric of the month. Ooh, I'm really looking forward to next month's. All right. So here we go. This board has been reused a few times because I think there's 3 stickers on it. How is everybody enjoying summer? I know it took plenty of time to get here. A lot of people were complaining about the cold hanging around for as long as it did. I'm already ready for the cold again, personally. I've never been a fan of summer. It's going to pin it to the board too. Here we go. Number 2 down. This is in my magic bag here. Oh, London Fog. This was another, I think this was March's fabric of the month since I still have it pulled up. Yep, March. Oops. Someday I'm going to figure out a better setup for my cameras and stuff. One of these, oh, we'll get this all figured out. Ouch. There's a sharp point on that thing. All right, and that's number 3. Okay, that needs to go into a kit. I wonder if I should do that. All right, here's another one. This is one of my Friday Night Fights ledger. Another 40 count Verdal. I tend to buy a lot of 40 count Verdal on the Friday Night Fights because not a lot of other dyers. Good morning, Holly. How are you, friend? I hope you're feeling okay. Um, not a lot of dyers do 40 count. It can be kind of hard to find, and it's my favorite ever. So I snatch it up on Friday nights. So this was the ledger. It's Verdal. And the dyer is my brain. It's not working this morning. We had a late night last night. We worked security for a graduation party. Feeling better, but still not 100%. I'm hoping we're getting there, though. I'm hoping 100% is achievable with the new rounds of medicine. That's what I'm hoping for. Not sure how well this one comes through. It actually has a lot of really pale in it. But it's kind of yellow and blue. Try number 3468. Definitely hoping for that too, but I'd take 80 or 90. Well, yeah. That is understandable. Any more plastic thingies? Looks like I got a couple more here. This one, Cappuccino from Be Stitch Me. I will say, I'm here today. I don't have a definite plan yet for when I'll be going live. There's a lot of stuff up in the air right now, and I'm very hopeful that it all turns out well and I'll be around. But not this coming up weekend because it's our family reunion. So we do this we go camping every year. Um, used to be a whole bunch of us. Last year it wasn't very many. I've heard this year's supposed to be a better turnout. But we go camping and, visit with family, swim, eat good food. So I'm looking forward to it. You will not get any surprise appearances from Ryan because he is out of town with my family. They're bringing him to reunion, so that's when I will see him next. So that being said, I would like to try and make Sundays a thing, but um, it won't be next week. I also need to make floss too because I think it's been a couple weeks for that too. Remember your sunscreen for the yeah, definitely. Definitely. I do a lot of staying under we buy those canopies, the big like 10 by 10 square ones. We have a few of them. I tend to stay under those a lot. Like even with sunscreen, I'm the type that needs to be well shaded or I will still burn. So, okay. Next. This is another one of the Atomic Ranch. This is Oz. I think this was April's. Yep. Holly, I think I got your package in the mail yesterday. Or it might still be sitting on my table. Either way, by Monday for sure. 32 count. April. Fabric of the month. Oh, I didn't grab enough boards. While I'm up. Yay, purple package soon. Me too. I've burnt in the shade before when it was really hot. I've burnt on a completely overcast day, like when it was just a little too warm. So Lexi just redid everything, and this is how this box looks. So the green will go in here actually. I think I could put this one. Where's our brown's in the other box? Blue. Seems really light, I know. But it is blue. Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way too. Looks like she's got gray in here. There's another blue. And black and orange. Ah, I guess I'll put it with the orange. She's gonna get so mad at me because she's gonna be like, that did not go there. Actually, I am gonna wait on that one. So here's my other box. These are just smaller pieces that I don't really put on comic book boards. Let's see. What you got in here? Oh yeah, the brown can definitely go right here. And just gonna kind of stick this one on the end because it's so many colors. So this is box number 2. It's got more of like purple, brown, a lot of purple. Back to not my lap. Okay. Lexi is off to work. Looks like everyone went live at the same time. Are we connected to? Here? So we got that one. All right, so I have this in the pile, but I think it's not an empty fabric. This has the fox on it, and I'm probably going to put another one or two on this. So I'm gonna set it to the side to make sure we kit up one of the other ones. And if y'all don't know, the new series of those just started. I just got the wolf in. Let's see. I have it here. Here's the new one, the wolf. She's doing another 12 months of these animals, which I absolutely adore. Will I get around to all of them? Probably not. Do I need to own all of them? Absolutely. So I absolutely love it. I do an auto ship, but I always order a couple extra to put in the shop afterwards if you're interested. Same with the specialty flosses. So, and I do have one customer that is having me order or having me provide all the DMC, so that's an option too. Speaking of the fox, I have to frog most of his tail that I've done. Oh goodness. Oh girl. I fudged this tail so hard. So hard. Like, hold on, none of this, like, I got the shape right and the color for the most part, but this design that goes up the tail is so messed up down here. You can see it just, I fudged it. But honestly, if I hadn't pointed it out and you just looked at the whole picture, would you even notice? Probably not. So, super cute. I'm thinking I need to put the swans on this color too because of the white. I think it'll pop really well. You can see that the fox white pops nice against it. So I'm thinking the swan white might too. But I kind of want to put them on a blue. I always put everything. It's funny because purple's my favorite color and I don't think I use the fabrics as much just because I love the fabrics. All right. So this is going, where'd it go? I have a little tub right here where I'm putting things that we need to work on stream at some point. And so it's got the nail hook kits that I finished because I'm going to re-kit them up as a giveaway here. And we still need to finish kitting up these that are for my tissue box stuff. And so now this is in here to be kitted up also. Think I should put them on the gray? Okay. All right, so then I have these two, and I think part of the reason this one, like I pulled it off thinking I was going to use it, and when I went to put it back, I'm like, really? It could go in my small cuts, because it's not a full cut. So, which I still have pulled out over here, so maybe I do that. And this My Sunshine is still kind of a big piece. I don't know, I might. Okay. We're going to make that decision later. The bag's empty. We are done. Blue is useful for a lot of things. I think because it's like the color of water, it's the color of sky. It goes with pretty much every color. I think it's why I stick with blue so hard. Blue, gray. I really like yellow. I use yellow quite a bit. So, all right, so we're done with this for now. Actually, take that back. We have one more. Because I just did Fabric of the Month again. I just hadn't pulled mine out yet. So these are ones that are going in the shop I have. Actually, I don't know about that one yet. 20 count Aida. This is Latte. This is the latest color. This is 32 count Linen. 18 count Aida. I've got to organize these. Hold on. 16 count Aida. So we got 16. When I put them in the drawer, I try and put them in order so I can find them faster. 20. What did I say this was? 32? Okay, 32. This is 32. And this is 32. So all of these are going in the shop. Don't know about that one yet. I have a customer that may be changing her mind about ordering or being in the fabric of the month, which I can make adjustments like that, take people off and add people on. It's just kind of tedious. I like to not have to do that. All right. So, what is this one? Latte. It's a Lugana from Atomic Ranch. It was May's fabric of the month. And see, like, we're the second week into June and I'm just getting it out. They've been very behind. Well, I take that back. I started invoicing for it over a week ago, but a lot of my fabric of the month people are also Wolf auto ship people, so I kind of held on to some stuff. Save on shipping, right? Put it all together. So this will be the last of the fabrics. And I will get those put up here in a little bit. All right. So the next thing I want to do, I didn't put the sticker on it. Yeah. What mess. I appreciate the save on shipping. You're awesome. You're welcome. Try my best. I was I was talking to a friend about the whole website thing. Because I started to try and do a Shopify. I only got 2 orders on it. It was costing me way too much. So I went back to just using Facebook for now. And so I was talking to her and she pointed me to another website and I um sorry, my brain just stopped working. It was asking me, like, what makes your business different from other businesses? And all I could really say was personalized service because like I said, I had a customer just signed up for the auto ship and is like, I don't have an LNS anywhere near me. Can you get me the DMC? Sure. So I'll be getting the entire DMC for each of the animals each time. And so like the wolf, it is 10 colors. I had 9 of them on hand to get her started and I had to order one of them. And then of course I'm offering the specialty flosses, but those have to be requested when you sign up or ask for it. So, and I always go with the most unless you tell me what your fabric size is. So most of these are like 2 skeins, but if you're doing it on 36 or 40, it's only 1 skein. So if you know ahead of time, hey, I'm doing it on 40 and let me know, I'll only send 1 skein instead of 2. So just personalized service, right? Like being able to work out what you want me to. I'm not big business enough to order everything. But I can get a good amount of stuff. So I'm gonna turn my AC on because it was cool in here when I started. I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to blow water. The last time I came in here, It was shortly after it rained, and I turned the AC on and it flung water everywhere. I had to throw towels on top of everything. All right, so the next thing I want to do I want to kit something up or do I want to stitch a little bit? What was it I was going to kit up? Oh, those. Let's stitch a little bit. So yesterday, okay, for those of you who don't know how Tissue Box works, is on the 14th of January, I designated that day for every month all year as the day I can start things or start certain things. Anyway, so I started a bunch of stuff that day, and now every month, if I have finished the project that I started at some point this year, from that designer, I could start the next one. So, for example, in this one, on the 14th of January, I started a Quirky Quaker. I started the Sloth, and he's a little covered up because I had to move the Q-snap. But there's the Sloth. I finished him on the 1st of this month because the Quirky Quakers I tend to only work on either at work or like if we're driving somewhere, I could pull it out and work on it. So I got this done during a drive to Houston, I believe. Didn't start my tissue box yesterday. Been so out of the week it snuck up on me. Oh, I'm sorry, Holly. So I did get my new start. So I decided to start the squirrel. I got it started yesterday, but I didn't get 100 stitches into it. So I do want to get to 100 stitches. And then move on. I do have one that I need to start today too. Because I didn't get all of mine started on the 14th, so some of them start on the 15th. This is even. Yep. Yeah, we were in the car and we were driving to our security job last night, and I was like, "Oh, I need to get this started." And I asked my husband, I was like, "Which one should I start?" So I named off all the ones I've had with me, and he picked squirrel. So I think I'm waiting for it to load up. Yeah, it's got a sync. So every time I hear squirrel, I think of Doug from Up. Squirrel, squirrel. All right, here we go. I got 24 done yesterday, so we need 76. How many do I need? 15. We did 40 on yours yesterday. I I just don't like to leave it under 100. So I was like, oh, I can come back during stream and work on it. Because I can't work on it at those security gigs, just on the drive too. And then on the drive home, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, so it's too dark. Plus, I'm pretty worn out by then. All the loud music and flashing lights and just leveled counting. So I don't have to keep counting all of them over and over again. This is 10. This, and at one point, so we like to kit things up on stream here. And at one point, we kitted up a bunch of quirky Quakers all in one day because they're small, right? Like the sloth for me was 681 stitches. Um, Now, is that 100% correct? Probably not, because I'm human and I miscount things. But um, kitted up a bunch of them. And what I do for these is I will go through like all my specialty flosses. Oops, I missed wrong fold. Um, I'll go through all my specialty flosses because there's a lot that are never going to be called for a pattern. They're just random. And this is how I like to use them up. And so, um, now I'm all screwed up. When we kitted this up, oh yeah, don't fit. We get an idea of what the three colors are. Oh, I have to be right back, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, it reset our chat. That's rude. When you stitch on 40 count, do you stitch over two? Yes. I use one strand instead of, like right here, I have two strands and I do the loop start and stuff. On 40 count, I'll only use one strand and still go over two. Could you imagine how tiny it'd be if we went over one? Ooh. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Yeah. Oh, I was telling you about the floss. Got distracted. So I find the three colors that are on the chart. And so, like for this one, it looks like this. You've got the green, you've got the brown, and you've got the dark brown. And so as you can see, my green is much lighter, but I like it. And then these are the two browns that we chose. One's a Threadworks and one's a Gentle Art limited edition, so it doesn't have like a color name. I need to see if this green, I don't know if the green came in the house or if it's still in the car. Well, I think it's in here. Try not to sneeze. Excuse me. The green is a Victorian motto. I don't think it has a lot of variegation, if any, but we're going to pretend it does and do one X at a time. So, starting here, it's like a field, so we're just going to fill it in. And I can move this counting pin because I counted already. So, the idea behind my tissue box thing, like, some people use it as a way to get through a series, or not all of mine are exactly series, but they're a like-minded thing from the same designer. Use it as a way to get them all started, right? One a month, on the same day. I'm only allowing myself to start the next one if I finish the first one, because I don't want to add a bunch of stuff to my whip list. I want stuff rotating. So I get to start this one because I finished the sloth on the first. And then the other one we need to start today is one of the monthly minis from Primrose Cottage. I finished one of those on the 22nd of May. So too late to start the next one. So then we start it on the 15th of this month. And I have like 9 of those going. And this hasn't been a very good stitchy year for me. Like I said, a lot of things are in flux. So I've only completed 3 so far. 3 different ones. But that's okay. It's okay. I got through quite a few quirky Quakers last year using this method. So you can see, got Hedgie, he was from a previous year, but I think all the rest of them were from this last year. So the bat, the seahorse, puffin, unicorn, Nessie or Loch Ness, Sasquatch, and Ladybug. You've not had a good stitchy year either? Nope. It's okay. It's not what it's about, you know? It's supposed to be something we just enjoy doing or it relaxes us. So we can't put pressure on it. But when you spend a few years like banging out some stitches and then all of a sudden that comes to a grinding halt, not of your choice, it's frustrating, you know? And it's like I'm in a group chat for a stitchy game that I'm playing, and there's a couple people in there that are like, well, I kind of lost my stitchy bug. I don't want to commit to this or that because I'm not really stitching right now. I'm like, dude, I'd be stitching every minute if I could. It's everything else that's gotten in my way. And then I see all these new things. I'm like, but I want to stitch it too. In fact, I'm supposed to be starting, right, Holly? I'm supposed to be starting that Owl Forest embroidery with you this month. I mean, you've already started it, but I told you I would start it with you. I still need to get that up. And I was thinking about that the other day. But I remember seeing one that I really, really liked. And I got to figure out how I want to do it. I don't think I want to do it all one solid color. So I have to sit down and really think about it. Life needs to get out of the way. Amen, sister. I agree. All right, let's do some counting. I'll try not to do it loudly in case anybody's stitching along. Okay. Yep, twin with me. I love how mine is going. Roses are purple, gray for the vines, and the castle will be black. Okay. That really, really helps me. Because I know that I saw it. I don't think it was yours because the person had red roses, but like a deep, almost black red. Um, and I was trying to figure out like where the breakdown is. So you saying like everything vine black, everything roses, vines, castle. So that's, but like the castle one is basically everything else, right? That's not rose or vines. Anyways, I got this um PR210. This is a Silks for You. And so I'm thinking maybe the roses in this. Maybe. And that's what I was saying. Like, I don't want to do it all in this, but I do like the idea of the roses for that. So I definitely need to take a second and just look at the pattern. But that really does help me, Holly. So I appreciate that. What color are you doing for your fabric? I feel like it was like a dark gray. Am I right? I know I do like your idea for purple roses because purple roses are my favorite. I got a story I'll tell you in just a second. But but I just really like the depth that color is. if I had a variegated purple that I was just absolutely in love with, then I would go purple, but I don't know that I do. It's a mottled gray, but fabric flare by Fab. Okay. I feel like maybe at one point I had a purple I was in love with. Anyway, so my birthday is early August. In Texas, we tend to start school around mid to late August. Um, like I think my kids, well, this coming up year, they're starting the 15th, which is kind of early. Typically like 24th, 26th, 23rd, you know. Basically, you go for a week and then you have a 3-day weekend because of Labor Day, right? It's how it typically works. Well, there was one year our school system got the bright idea to start really early, and the first day of school was on my birthday. I had never gone to school on my birthday before. Um, and let's just say I was very frustrated and disappointed. I think being at school on my birthday would have been one thing, but it being the very first day of school on top of everything else, I don't know. I was upset. I was really upset by it. And so my dad brought I was turning 12 and he brought 13 purple roses up to the school for me. It's the first time I had ever been at school for my birthday, so to be thought of to oh, this is a hard way to say this. That's not something I would have expected from my family. Like showing up at school, bringing a gift, making the day significant. So I was very happy. And since then, purple roses have always been one of my favorite flowers. And in high school, when I met my husband, um, I told him that story. And so there was a few times he, like, not even for a special occasion, just because he would bring purple roses to me at school. So, um, yeah, they're one of my favorite flowers. And stargazer lilies. Really like stargazer lilies. I'm doing this wrong. Yeah, it was a very special birthday for me. Telling stories and not looking at the pattern. Wait. Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah. Dork. The only thing was he brought them in a glass vase, so they were absolutely gorgeous and I loved it, but I wasn't allowed to take it to class and show it off because you couldn't carry around a glass vase to seven different classes. So my friends didn't get to see my purple roses, but it was still the gesture meant everything. Everything. So go. That one was right. Oh, we're going up instead of diagonal. I thought that was like, why is it getting so wide? Not even in the camera, y'all. I need to highlight so that I can move my counting pins. I'm calling them counting pins. They're literally just extra needles I had sitting right here that I could mark. So on the pattern, the first block wasn't full, so I only went as many as is in there, and then full block, and then what I needed out of the last, just to kind of make it look like the pattern. All right, so we're at 66. Just stitching real quick. I knew that was going to happen. Sometimes you just pain to yourself. All right. So we have family reunion this coming up weekend. I think we're heading down there Friday. I'm back on Sunday. Does anybody else have plans coming up? The, in fact, this was almost entirely done at our family reunion summer before last, I think. Yeah. So I could possibly get these small ones that you can kind of work on out in the outdoors, not worry about them getting too dirty and not being overly distracted from spending time with family, because that's kind of the whole reason you're there. Work out really nicely. So this one's good. It's also not a small count. This is 28 count, and it doesn't use a lot of colors. So like just having the 3 colors makes life easier. You can see the first year I went, it was all one color. So some of them can get away with being all one color, and then some of them not quite so much. So hold on. Somebody needs my assistance. What is going on? Oh my goodness. It just it's because the AC's blowing my hair around, which I normally keep up, but I was like, gonna wear it down. Why? I think Lexi's gonna dye it for me today. I dyed it. So I took the highlights that I had done and I dyed them purple. And then when the purple washes out, it becomes like blue and green and like all these different colors. So I think we're going to go back to something more natural. I think that's the plan. She also painted my kitchen cabinets yesterday. That's pretty cool. Right. One too many. Oh, I forgot a thing on the side. Oh, y'all, I have a cute story. So we were working the security gig last night. I missed it on that side too. We were working security last night. And for the most part, we're only there in case something happens. Like we don't do a whole lot. We even try and be pretty inconspicuous. We sit off in a corner, just let them enjoy their party. Well, at a lot of these parties, it's a big dance. It's DJ, it's everybody either dancing or like sitting at a table talking to people. And any little kids that are there are like chasing each other around the entire building and screaming and laughing and throwing things, just having a good old time. Well, at one point, these kids are chased, and we sit kind of by. There's like you come in the front doors, and there's this little lobby area, and then you go through another set of doors to enter the main area. And the little kids like to play in that little lobby because it's a little bit quieter than the main part. It's away from all the adults. They kind of got their own space. And they're running in and out of there. And this one little kid, I would say he's probably about 4. Um, he like we make eye contact as he's running past me and he's screaming and in like fun, playful way, right? I go back to looking around because he's run past me, and all of a sudden I feel a tug on the back of my shoulder, and I go to turn to see, you know, who's tugging on me, and the kid plants a kiss on my cheek. It was the cutest thing. I told my husband, I was like, I just got kissed. was like, should I be jealous? It was cute. So then later in the night, whenever mom's rounding him up and they're leaving, I text my husband. I said, "Oh, my boyfriend's leaving." It's cute. This doesn't work right. Going the other way. It was so cute. And then a little bit later, in fact, after he had left, there was these other kids and they kept running up to me and going, "They've got grasshoppers and they're chasing us and trying to make us eat them." It's like, okay, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do about that. Oop, came unthreaded. All right, look at there. Our borders met up. I'd be like, you're on your own with the grasshoppers, kid. I don't know that they were real grasshoppers because I saw these kids picking something up and it was like small, like like small. Um, but yeah, they were picking it up, but throwing it at each other. Like, all right, here we go. We just hit exactly 100 stitches. That's 100 stitches. I'm gonna take a quick picture of that, and we're gonna move on. Now, here's maybe where I thought we have to kit. I don't know. Let's see what the situation is. Okay, so this is Squirrel Quirky Quaker. I'm gonna put it up. I got my 100 stitches into it. I did start it yesterday with what, 24 stitches, and then we finished it up. And you can see my bag, like I have all of these baggies are a different animal or Quirky Quaker. And not all animals. I've got an ornament, I got a pumpkin. Did you have to figure out where the other color went? All right. So this is one of my other tissue box ones. It's not finished yet. I was just gonna show it to you because um gotta finish this one up. I got a little bit more tail and then some words. And then this one's done and it is, I think, fully kitted up for the next two. This was one of the tissue box ones I've already finished. Um, this is Hoppy Halloween. And then I finished it in April. So in May, I started Mitten Kitten. And you can see my 100 stitches down there. So, and you can see I have a few more in there to do. And this is one that I'm still working on. January Quaker from With Thy Needle and Thread. That one still needs quite a bit, actually. Here's the one I was looking for. So I finished this one May 22nd. This is January's monthly mini from Primrose Cottage. And this is on 40 count Verdal, 1/2. And look how teeny tiny it is. It is so stinking cute. So, I need to, I think I might have all the colors on here that I need. So let's see. Let's see if we can go ahead and get February started. Monthly minis. January, February. So 3712 is there. Yeah. Okay. So we have, we were good. I think we kitted up the first 3 months on here. And so we can get started on this one. So I'm going to trying to figure out what is my trying to find. It is so teeny. I love it. I'm thinking I'm gonna kind of do them like Biscornove, right? And have one side January, flip it over the other side. Or the idea is do another one that says like January or whatever to put on the back. I'm not quite sure. But something, or maybe even little pillows, not necessarily Biscornu, because don't those have to be at like an angle? I don't know. Anyway, I was looking for my um oh my goodness, corner gauge or whatever, so that I could figure out how far apart to put these. But they're so small, I don't think I really need to worry too much. So here's what we're gonna do. Let me take that off. Rock, scissors. Here we've got this. Oh, it's so tiny. And you see this big old piece of fabric, and then this teeny tiny little from here to here. This is going to be really kind of silly. I just came up with this in my head. Um, so we got the two needles. Take a post-it note. And put it over the needles. All right. So that's about how far I have on that side. I'm gonna see. I think I used a corner gauge, so these should be about the same. There. Close enough. So now I'm going to put the needle on this side. Need a way to deal with fabric. I don't have enough space. All right. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to put this sticky note to where it's right on top of that needle. Right. And then I'm going to put this needle through the sticky note. Right here. It's a sharp needle. Okay. There we go. So that's about that far apart. I'm going to do that from the top too. So just to make sure I'm getting them pretty even. This one's going to... Oh, okay. Well, I marked the fabric even. So I'm going to put that inside the Q-snap or Nerge. Using the Nerge. And this is going to be a pretty good one for like a corner start. So we're going to line these two up and start right about there. All right. And our first color is 30-31. And here's the thing, like I have these threads cut to be doubled over like this, but I don't use those here. So I'm actually going to cut this one in half. Otherwise, I will have knots. I can't seem to avoid them. So it's so small. I'm just trying to make sure I get that tail caught. I'm gonna move these pins and we're gonna be ready to go. Oh, no, I forgot to take a picture of empty fabric. It's okay. Not worried about 3 half stitches. Working on that 28 count, I've kind of gotten used to being able to do a little bit of sewing method. I don't know if I could do it on this 40 count, but we're gonna try. And I'm gonna try and get to 100 on this one. New start, new start. I also don't put these on my Monopoly boards, so I only work on these. I have 9 of them, these 9 projects. Like, I have one that stays on the bedside table. Right now, that's July wordplay. Um, and some nights I get like an hour to work on it before I go to sleep. Um, it hasn't been going real well for July wordplay because I didn't have all the threads ready. So I'll get so far and then be like, oh, I guess I'm just gonna go to sleep because I'm not gonna go try and find a thread. Um, I keep one in my car for if I have some dead time out while I'm door dashing, I can work on it. And then um, I usually have one I'll grab if we're driving somewhere like to San Antonio for a doctor's appointment or, like I said, to work last night at the security gig. Speaking of Monopoly, I need to make sure it's not my turn. It's not. Megan is going at the moment and she's purchasing and she has to work for the weekend. So it's probably going to be at least a few days, I would say, because Sarah's ahead of you also. Um, and so I'll have one that I'll just kind of grab and go if we're going somewhere and I think I can throw a few stitches in. Um, so, and then those will rotate out and eventually get worked on. Like this one was my bedside one until I finished it. So, no problem. It's one of the things I did before stream is I got caught up on all the Monopoly boards because I have one board that's going with a few of my friends, but I have I think we're up to 13 boards on the Monopoly server now. I think that's going to be our maximum. We're not going to add any more. So we have 10 normal Monopoly boards, like traditional rule, well, my rules, but you know, just played normally. And then we have one that's called a lightning board where you can't take more than 3 days to do your stitching because they want it to move quickly. And even then, I almost feel like we should drop it down to 48 because we haven't even gotten through a full round yet of Lightning Monopoly. Or maybe we're just starting our second round. Of course, there's 10 people on that board. And now we've got 2 boards that are starting today for crafts that are not cross stitching. So knitting, crochet, diamond painting, any of that kind of stuff. What? it's so tiny, sometimes it's hard to know that is enough stitches because it looks like this here translates to that there. You're like, no way I did enough stitching. We kept getting a lot of requests for it. And I know how motivating the games that we play on Facebook for stitching are for me. Because I play, there's one where we're saving animals. There's Hell's Kitchen, or Hell's Stitchin', which is basically like we're chefs and we cook things using our stitches. And then the Monopoly board and everything makes it so motivating that I get things done. Why shouldn't somebody that knits or crochets have that same motivation? I was tempted to jump on it. I do have one other craft I've been doing lately, which is beading. And I'm creating a star with a dragon on it out of beads. And so I was tempted to throw it on there and just anytime my turn comes up, obviously it's going to be that one project. But I don't know. I didn't jump in this round, but I really considered it for a minute. So I was like, ooh, I'll get good progress on it. Because that's the thing. I really enjoy the beading, but I get so little time to stitch that I'm not prioritizing the beading over stitching. Like when I get a chance to sit down, stitching's what I want to be doing. I've been doing a little bit of the beading while I cook dinner. So, when you're waiting for the noodles to boil, throw a few beads on type thing. But I thought that's also cleaning time. Uh, Water's boiling, do your dishes type thing. So I need to work on it. And I think we're going to cap that one out at 2 boards. Um, just because it's a lot to manage to go through and know where everybody is, making sure they're taking their turns appropriately, their what properties they have are being logged, things like that. So it's it's a lot. I think we're up to like 5 or 6 hosts that helps. I tried beading on a loom, but it wasn't my jam. Yeah, I've never tried that. Um, I thought it was gonna be kind of like I used to make beading pets when I was a kid, and so you took back then it was that plastic stuff, and um, you took it, you put like whatever the pattern said, 3 beads, and then you put the next row, and then you like wove them through each other, and then the beads, and then wove, so it created like this. But it's not the one I'm working on right now isn't like that. But I'm really enjoying it. It's more of like I feel like people do with granny squares, where like you've got your middle and then you like work your way out. Like this is how it's working out. And like you put one bead on and then you weave through one of the beads from the former row. So it still does that number, but without having to have two threads. Plastic stuff was awful. Yeah, it was, but I really enjoyed making those little pets. I even tried really hard to get Lexi into it at one point just so that I could start doing it again. Do you ever do the folding or they would make these little like things you put on keychains by folding the plastic and then weaving them through and then folding and weaving and fold. I don't know. I never I never got real good at those because I never figured out how to get them started. I just kind of I could like if my friend could start them for me, I could do them. I always had such a hard time getting started. Of course, I have that problem with that. I did try crocheting for a while, granny squares, and I'm always like, how do I get started? I never did those, but some of my friends did. I do crochet off and on, but not regularly. Yeah, like I said, I learned how to do granny squares from a coworker. Um, but and I do like the movement of it. I like the speed of it once you start getting used to it. Lanyards, yeah. Yeah, that's what it was called. The lanyards. Um, I never learned how to start them. But again, I don't love it enough to stop cross stitching for it. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't have 12 hours a night sitting at work cross stitching anymore. I miss it a lot, but life goes on. I knew for the entire, what, 9 years that I was there. No, seven? Six, yeah, no, 8 years that I was there, that it was a blessing. I was very fortunate to have a job where I got so much me time, so much time to stitch. So I knew it probably wouldn't last forever. Did I want it to? Sure. But it's okay. We're going to figure out the next thing hopefully soon. Hi, Sandy. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying. Honestly, okay, so for a little while, all this table, that table, all that area back there was so full of stuff I couldn't even move around in here. I got it cleaned up a few weeks ago, and every Sunday I'm like, "Oh, I should go live," but the camera wasn't set up, and I would wake up in the morning and be like, "Or I could just sit and stitch," you know? So, but the more messages I get, the more I'm like, "Okay, come on, we can do this." So I told myself yesterday, I was like, let's do this in the morning. Let's do it. And I didn't rush out here. I think maybe that was my problem is I had like this set time I need to be here and that made it a little hard. And so today I'm like just whenever I get up and get going. I got up, I made us breakfast, I did some things and I was like, okay, I'm ready. Let's go do this. Thank you. So I do believe I got your package sent off yesterday, Sandy. So you should get it sometime this week. Fun stuff. We're at 35. We need to get to 100. Let me do one thing real quick. Hey, Kelly. I am working on this is the monthly minis from Primrose Cottage. This was January's. You can kind of see it there. And now I'm going to be doing February's. And it looks like this. They have them as small pillows. Because I'm doing them on 40 count, it is like super teeny, like not even a full post-it note. They're so tiny, but I love it. It's it's adorable. So I just started February's as part of my tissue box. So because I finished January's last month, today I can start February's. I started this January 15th, but you know, it's not like we all don't have 100 different projects we're working on. So, and like I was saying earlier, I haven't had a lot of good stitchy time, so everything's just taking more time. Hi, Heather. How are you doing? So good to see all of y'all. I feel like I've missed you too. You know, I like having our little conversations. Hi, Mandy. How are you? I'm just doing something for my Monopoly boards real quick. Sorry, y'all. And then I will get back to stitching. We did a little putting fabric away this morning. We put 100 stitches in on a Quirky Quaker because it was my new start yesterday, but I didn't get to 100 stitches. And now I'm working on this Primrose Cottage monthly mini. I'm doing good. Everything has been very kind of all over the place, not in a bad way, but I'm very hopeful that it's going to get a lot better soon. Maybe false hope. You know how sometimes you just get a feeling like the shoe's going to drop, and sometimes it drops in your favor, and sometimes it, stomps all over your toes? I just feel like it's about to drop, and it's might drop in my favor. That's just how I'm feeling. Random, I know. Oop. Yep, I know that feeling. Truthfully, I'm feeling nauseous and a little anxious, but I have my pregnancy test tomorrow, so that makes sense. Right. And so you get to this feeling, you're like, is it because, or is it all in my head? Right. So I hope good things for you tomorrow. My fingers are crossed. And the thing that I'm concerned about, I should find out something tomorrow too. So hopefully we all get good news tomorrow. I've been unorganized lately, not getting much stitching in. Not sure if it's because summer weather, or just more going on. Yeah, well, and that's it too. Like, it's not necessarily 100% no time to do things. It's prioritizing that time correctly. And I feel like I just haven't been doing as well as I should be. Fingers crossed and happy thoughts for all that need them. Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, we need Holly's medicine to make her feel better instead of crummy. And we want Heather's results to go positively. Hint, hint, pun intended. Um, I'm hoping for good news tomorrow. Like, party down the line. Oh, see, and that's such a hard place to be in because now you're like, you see the positive and you're like, oh, yes, yes, yes. But then past experiences have you going, I'm not supposed to be getting my hopes up right now, and yet they're up. Whether you like it or not, they're up. I had that experience a couple times myself. For anybody that's just coming in, I I know this was totally impromptu. I didn't put up anything. I felt like if I obligated myself, I would be worried about canceling, and with as not around as I've been lately, I didn't really want to do that to everybody. So I know it was impromptu, um, but I wanted to make sure I could get here. The other thing is I cannot do this next weekend. It's not like I'm starting a routine just yet because we have our family reunion next weekend, and I will be out of town until Sunday, or from Friday to Sunday. Um, Now, outside of that, again, there's some stuff in flux, so I don't know exactly, but I'm thinking that Sunday's still going to be okay going forward. So we will hope for the best, you know? Um, so I just don't want everyone to think, oh, well, she's here this Sunday, she's going to be here next Sunday. Not next Sunday. And honestly, we're going to be door dashing a lot this week because of that weekend coming up. Like, we want to make sure that we have money to have fun with because we do like a family auction, and there's always find those new things you want to pick up on the way, right? Like, I don't know. We were looking at camping stuff the other day, and what was it? There was this, it was like a collapsible kitchen sink thing that I thought would be really cool for like trying to do dishes while we're out there. Or because we have cooking utensils and stuff that we use. Mm, just stuff like that. Privacy tent for using the bathroom. They have bathrooms at the park that we go to, but that's a long walk in the middle of the night. I'm not buying one of those. I just thought it was funny. I was like, we could create a little toilet right there next to our tent. Heard you talk about your family reunions before, and they sound so fun. My family was doing one every other year, but our last one was prior to COVID. COVID kind of killed ours for a couple years too. Um, in fact, like, we've started going again, but we don't have the turnout that we did prior to, which is really kind of heartbreaking because, like, there were people at reunion last year that aren't going to be there this year. Um, because they've passed in between, right? The whole point of family reunion is getting to see those people that, we're not here forever. So I'm hoping for a good turnout this year. Um, I would like to see lots of wonderful faces. So we really enjoy them. I end up playing a lot of cornhole, some washers, some horseshoes. I don't usually go swimming too much, just lake water kind of. Um, but then it's sitting around and talking. I don't know if you've ever heard of a game called LCR. We love playing LCR like one night that we're there. Um, and we play with actual money, and somebody goes home with a pot at the end, and it's a great time. Ryan won like 3 years in a row. We keep talking about having a brisket cook off, but every time we talk about that, like, the people who are supposed to be cooking brisket don't show up. So we quit talking about having the cook off. But my father-in-law makes brisket every year. I promise. This 40 count is usually a lot more intuitive. I'm just distracted. We play LCR with Floss at retreats. That would be so much fun. Oh, that would be fun. I wonder if I can get my table at my retreat this year to do that. I'm gonna text them. That would be so much fun. Do y'all just do like DMC, or do y'all like throw specialty floss and stuff in there? That would be so much fun. Come on. I'm at 44 stitches. I'm trying to get to 100. Just dropped my phone. I have a local SoCal retreat, so they're small and usually get around 40 people to play. Wow. We keep it open so everyone brings whatever floss they feel like. We do it at our monthly Stitch meetup. Everyone brings 3 flosses. It's a mix of fancy and DMC. That sounds like so much fun. I don't know that I could get the whole retreat to do it because I think I'm going to kind of a big one, but my table could do it. Going to your first retreat in September. Which one are you going to, Kelly? I'm going to a retreat at the end of next month. So, our whole retreat is only like 40 or 50 people. I honestly don't know anything about the retreat I'm going to other than I know some people who are going to be there. So, like, I know who I'm sitting with at my table, or I know of a few anyway. Is it the one by Live and Die LA? That's going to be my first one. Look, Sandy and Kelly are going to get to meet up. No, but she comes to ours too. We have one. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. And one in Big Bear. I heard that one was a blast, though. It'd be nice to meet more people in person, definitely. I feel like that too. I feel like I'm doing something wrong, or I did something wrong. Oh, man. I did, and pretty far back. Okay. Who wants to frog? We're going to be doing that for a few minutes. Where do I go from there? I love how my toddler is sitting there saying he's hungry while holding a bowl of oatmeal and munching on goldfish. I know that feeling. Oh my goodness, so hungry. And then it hits you all at once when you're not hungry anymore. Oops. Okay, so I decided after talking about it on here with y'all to join the other crafts board with my beading, but also a little bit of cross stitch because so just to mix it up. Because I did put on there that you can have cross stitch, it has to be less than 50% of your whips. So I'll just put a couple on there that aren't on my normal Monopoly board list, and then put the beading on there. Because I think it will make me work on the beading some, you know? Turns only come around like once a week. Throwing in a few hundred stitches on the beads wouldn't take me but an afternoon, and go from there. So I just committed myself to a third Monopoly board. Fourth? Fourth Monopoly board? Oh my goodness. See how it goes. And I rolled really high, so I'm like second person to play. Glad you joined it and help you do more beating, diversify. Yeah. And here's the thing, like, I do kind of want to start a second beating project at some point because I really do like it. Um, so I'm almost to the problem. Because, if I have to keep frogging, maybe I just give up cross stitching altogether. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm not. I was just making sure I wasn't getting my head in there. Hey, cat. What's up? Were you here in time to hear what I just said? Is it peyote? I've thought about trying that before. Yes. Yeah. Um, it's 3D peyote. Literally just got here. Okay, I was telling them that I decided to join the other crafts board. All I have for other crafts is the dragon star, the mythos. But I'll throw a little bit of cross stitch on there. But just only a little bit, because I said it had to be less than 50% of the whip list. Glutton for punishment. That's what I am. Yeah. Well, it'll make me work on mythos because I haven't been. So, and I really like it. I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. Mhm. So this is the pattern, or this not a there it goes. So it this on both sides. So you create the whole star and then you stuff it. I was trying to avoid doing that to myself, and I should. I have knitting, diamond painting, and bead weaving to do. I mean, I imagine diamond painting could go so fast, you know? Did y'all see that? My husband texts, "Hi, YouTube." Anyway, so this is the project that I'm putting on there. I have this side done. And I think I'm working on this one now. This one. So, and then I want to do, I need to get with Kat Yoy. She is on over on Twitch right now. You can see her in the chat. I don't qualify. I already have 3 boards. Yeah, you didn't see the exception to that. I'm not messing with you. That you can't do it, Kat. Um, I want to do this one. I want to because I need a hummingbird really bad. And so I need to get the beads and do this one, I think. Well, I'm trying to decide between that one and this one, but it's not between those two. So, but I need a hummingbird one, period. So, yeah, that's what I said. I was going to message you and have you kit it up for me. I just got to decide which one of those two. Now I have a second project ready to go. And honestly, I would really enjoy diamond painting. Yes, the first hummingbird. Okay. I wish I could get it to just color like this, like the pinks and the purples and stuff. Um, and I'm sure I could if I took my time, but we're not going there. I just started learning how to do this. What was I gonna say? I've also considered diamond painting at some point. But again, like putting down my stitching to do a different hobby, what? Um, oh, I was at Walmart the other day and I saw one of my one of my full coverage designs that is kind of on hiatus right now. Y'all haven't seen it in a bit, but it's called Life's an Open Book Paris. I saw it as a puzzle. Y'all, I was so tempted. So tempted. Maybe do the puzzle and not do the cross stitching. Because like on the cross stitching project, I think I only have 100 stitches in it. But so Kat, I got crafting board 2 going. Ian's first, so whenever he's ready to go. And then we're still waiting on Liz for board 1. Yeah, no, I don't see myself staying interested in diamond painting for very long. After an hour, I'd be like, yeah, where's my stitching? I think just because it moves so much faster, though. I've diamond painted in the past. I do have some I really like. I should get them back out sometime. The couple that I've done with Lexi, I've really enjoyed it because stitching just takes a lot longer than diamond painting does. But the finishing and hanging up is less interesting to me than the stitching. We'll get back to where we were at some point. When I realized I had a mistake. I like stitching because you see the picture develop. Diamond painting's already, and I understand that because that's literally so when I first started stitching, I did stamped cross stitch, right? So you're just putting color on a picture that's already there. And I didn't find it like I enjoyed it, but once I found counted cross stitch where I watched the picture develop, hooked. I like being able to multi-place though. Yeah, that's cool. So I also like the idea because my brain likes compartmentalizing at times. And so I really like you can open up a small section, diamond paint, fill it in, be done. Kind of like page finishing, right? And so I really like the idea of that. That click you get putting the diamond down in place is really satisfying. It's the same with peyote too. Um, so when when you're doing the beading and you get a few rows out, because of the way that you put a bead on and then weave through a bead and then put a bead on it, they literally like snap in the middle of each other. It's very satisfying. I like my stamp cross stitch for when I'm low brain power. But those are different than what I'm talking about. Like back when I did it, it was like a baby bib with just these blue X's on it. And then and you stitched over the blue X's. You're talking about the ones where it's like Ada with a picture printed on it and you're putting it over it. And I can completely understand that because you still, in a way, get to watch it develop because the pixelation on that print is not it. you know? But definitely, there's a time and a place for pretty much every craft. Like you can make it justify. Like when I was crocheting, I would crochet before it got dark because I never felt like I could sit and focus on my stitching until after it got dark. After all the people had come back to work, I didn't have to keep getting up and signing them in and stuff like that. So knitting or crochet was really good for the busier times. So I would do it until everything calmed down and then I'd start stitching. Um, so I mean, it's whatever works. And the colors on the prints are different from the DMC color that goes over. I noticed that, like, because they have all those ads for them, and it'll be like green and they put black over it. I'm like, how does that make sense? I thought I sent this message a long time ago, and then I didn't. I can only knit when everyone is in bed. I get distracted or interrupted and I drop stitches. Granted, I'm just learning. Yeah, I don't even know how to knit. I use my knitting for low brain power when I need to pick up and then put down projects. I found this little fact out after having to restart 20 times. Oh, goodness. I do feel like that stitch is wrong. Um, I do feel like keeping track of stitches looks a little more difficult for knitting and crochet than it does for like, I just highlight the pattern, you know? I don't know. I don't know because I don't do it. You should have vintage teach you. I learned crochet at one point because the lady that I would relieve at work, like she worked the day shift, I worked the night shift, she would sit there and crochet all day. And she knew I cross stitched, like we talked about it. And then there was one day she like stayed over an extra hour and just showed me how she started a granny square for me and then showed me how to do it. And she left me a ball of her yarn and I just kept going with it. And then I started doing that, like I said, during for like because I would work yeah, 6 to 6. So from like 6 to 9 I would play with crochet and then pull out my stitching. So that's how I learned. I highlight the row. But I'm saying like when I was working on the granny squares, sometimes I would here it is. Literally, this is how far I got. See? And then I was like, eh. But keeping track of where you're at. I know a lot of people have those little counters, I guess, that they hook on here, but this is as far as I ever got. And it just normally it sits on the back of my chair like this and just makes it look pretty. They make row counters. Yeah. Oops, that didn't go there. I am really struggling today. And I've like worn this thread out as much as I pulled it out through the fabric. Oh my goodness. My headphones are disconnected, reconnected, disconnected. I do have yarn and stuff over there. Lexi crochets sometimes. Um, she flits from thing to thing pretty often because we're all distracting. I know. Oh, we're so distracting. It's easier to figure out the pattern the longer you do it. Yeah, I can imagine. Like I said, I didn't get very far, so I really can't speak as to how easy or difficult it is. You're back. Not me. Cat said be right back. I also just got a bunch of fabric. My husband's aunt was a quilter and she had so much stuff. And eventually I want to try some of those projects too. Not necessarily like a full-fledged quilt, but she has some stuff that's not quite that. Anyway, I want to try it at some point, but I feel like it'll take more patience from me than stitching does. I tried quilting once before and I kept like perfectionism, when my stitches didn't or when my seams didn't all match up, I would get really frustrated. Hey, Lori. Yeah, it's been a while. It's even been a couple weeks since I recorded Floss Tube. I went out of town. I was at my parents', and so I was like, oh, I did not prepare to be out of town and record a Floss Tube. So I didn't. And then this week just kind of disappeared on me. Like, what happened? So I'll have to get one of those up soon. And then, like, I had a bunch of stuff in here. So for a little while, I wasn't able to even move around in the shed here. But I'm here today, and I won't be here next Sunday because we have our family reunion, but um, maybe the following Sunday. I don't know. I don't want to commit to anything right now. It may just have to be impromptu like this for a little bit until some stuff works out. Hoping I did this right. Sometimes I really don't like having to count because I'm not so good at it. Like, I don't think it's so much about counting the spaces, it's about seeing the spaces. Sometimes as you're moving your needle across it, like it slips an extra one and you don't realize or whatever. So, oh, I did it there too. Darn it. No? Oh. Well, why'd they do that? They almost flubbed me up. Y'all, I found a mistake in the pattern. Okay, so you see here the white ones. Focus, 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 focus. It's not one to focus. We're single stitch, 4, and over here it's single stitch, 4, single stitch. All these other 3 corners are like this, but this one's like this, and it's not me making it up. Like, here's the pattern. See? Single, single, 4. Whoops. 1, 4, 1. Is that gonna bother me? Am I gonna have to go back and fix it? Not right now. But we'll see once I get more of it done if that's not gonna work for me. I know people who would not be able to with the other 3. Or maybe I change this corner to look like this corner so then it's equal. Anyway, we're gonna move that over to the side and do another color for a few minutes. Not that one. That would bother the heck. See, and I know some people do. I might not notice. We'll see. It's bothering me right now, but which one is this one? Yeah. See, and it would be easy enough to just pull out these and fix this rather than, So I might do that at some point. Especially because once I put this color in, the white's going to be anchored a little bit better. The white down here will be anchored, and then I can clip that. So let's see where I'm at with my stitches. Welcome back, Cat. You go put Munchkin down for his nap. Did he handle that okay? Oh, I was telling everyone earlier, I worked as security, so I'm a security guard, and we've been getting these private contracts to do like birthday parties, graduation parties, anywhere where they're gonna have alcohol, really. And I was at a graduation party last night, and we just kind of sit off in the corner of the room, kind of close to the front doors, and just observe. We're there if anybody needs us. Well, there was these kids running around and playing, and I made eye contact with one of them, and he was screaming and running. Well, apparently eye contact was permission. And so he ran past me, and then all of a sudden I feel like a tug on my shoulder, and I go to look behind me, and he kisses me on the cheek. Oh, it's so cute. He had to have been like maybe 3 or 4. Like he was small. It was so cute. Made me feel special for the rest of the night. It's like walked up and kissed some stranger. Like I don't know this kid. Fix I have to go for lunch. I wanted to get this 100 stitches in, which we're at 65, so maybe we can go ahead and still get them in. But I'm gonna have to go make lunch soon. And Minion. Sometimes gotta love summer. My kiddos. Ryan went to um stay with family for a couple weeks down in Houston. So like we all went down there. I visited my parents for a couple days, and then Ryan stayed. And since he's been there, he's been with my parents, he's been with my sister, he's been with my brother and sister-in-law. Like he's just kind of making the rounds. And this weekend, my sister and brother-in-law are going to be at reunion, so they're just bringing him up with them, him and one of his cousins. And then Lexi's working, so she's gone most of the day, most days. So, so it's been kind of a quiet start to summer for me. Granted, mine are teenagers, so they tend to stay in their room and ignore my existence anyway. But it's still been just a little different. Because normally by now Ryan would have popped in to say hi to everybody. Like he'd be standing over my shoulder talking to y'all about, I don't know, a football game or some wrestling, something. But he's not here. And I started to stream right about the time that Lexi had to leave for work. I know I'll miss this, but give me 10 years or something. Yeah, I do. I miss it. I miss them being little and running around and wanting to climb all over me, but not enough. Like, I wish I had a friend nearby that had a little kid that I could borrow for a couple hours and then take home. That's where I'm at. And like all like my husband has 3 brothers. They're all done having kids, and most of them are close to my kid's age. They range from, I think, about 8 all the way to 20 something. My nieces and nephews on my husband's side. And then I have 3 siblings. My sister, but my sister has one that's 7, 7 or 8. Um, but they live in Houston. They're just not close enough. Oh, I'm not nearby, but I will gladly ship mine to you. I said a couple hours. You can't get them here. Do you know the effort it would take to get them here? Let me have them for a couple hours and then take them back. I know. I know, but I still have a few years for that. Fingers crossed. At least. I'm good with like 8 more years for that. Couple hours, 10 plus hours, what's the difference? Mm. And here's the thing. If it were just me, I could probably be like, hey, I'll take them for the weekend. But my husband does not do little kids for very long. Like, he's great with kids. But after like 20 minutes, he's like, can we go home now? I was about to offer mine as well, but I was busy chasing mine around like a zombie. Mine are cute, but they're chaos. Yeah, that's toddler life or little kid life. It doesn't even really have to be toddlers. I'm literally gonna have a I technically I have a senior right now because she has completed all her credits. I mean, they're in summer, so we're in the summer between junior and senior year, and I just can't even. And then I'm working these graduation parties thinking, oh, I need to do this next year. Maybe I need to get started now. That last summer of being a kid, right? She's definitely um in that situation where like she's never been super social, and this summer she's like, I want to spend time with my friends. I want to spend time with my friends. Like the whole so she's constantly wanting to go do things. Um so yeah, like from someone who rarely wants to go do anything to every other day, like, hey, can me and this person just go to McDonald's and get some food or whatever. You can tell that senioritis is already coming. So, and we've had so many talks about college and like all that stuff. I'm not ready. I'm not old enough. Y'all, I'm not old enough. Hello. Oh, geez. My goodness. Hello. Welcome in. Hop hops. Jackal's hover over from Monopoly for some Sunday sips. Hello. Vintage just rated in over on Twitch. Hello, everybody. Vintage is like, that's where you were. Hey, Sakayla, how are you? Craftings. Sam, welcome in. Hello, hello, everybody. We're just doing a little bit of stitching over here in the heat of summer. Copy over. So I am, hi, uh, really bad with rates. Sammy J Stitches, been working on Monopoly. Awesome. I am live on both YouTube and Twitch right now. So my YouTubers probably don't know what the heck just happened. So over on Twitch, they have a thing called rating. And so Vintage was, I believe, stitching, right? And live, and she sent all her viewers over here. So everybody welcome in. And we are stitching right now. We did a little bit of fabric organizing earlier. I did 100 stitches on another project that I just started yesterday. I need to get something into. And then we just started this morning. So I'm trying to get to 100 stitches on it. 100 stitches is like my generalized goal for any new start. It's 40 count though, so I'm kind of struggling a little bit with the counting. I'm hoping I counted that right. Guess we'll see. So this is um there's a book from Primrose Cottage called Monthly Minis, and this is February's. This is what it's going to look like. This is what we're working on. One, I'm going over two with one strand. It's hard to tell because it is so tiny. Y'all see that? This was January's that I finished last month. So tiny. I love 40 count Verdal. It's such a smooth fabric and easy. Like, I'm just not a linen fan. Let's be real. Um, but it is a little bit of the workout for the eyes. So I just got over 100, but we'll stitch for a little bit longer. Oh, Vintage got her 500 for Monopoly. I need the next color. Let me go back to that at the cover. And this one's only 3 colors, so I want to say there was 5 or 6 on the other one, but this one only has these 3 colors: dark pink, light pink, and white. Need to get mine done, but I can't get Pattern Keeper to read the pattern, so I'm recharting it really quick. I think really quick and recharting don't really. What was it we were saying last night about you making more work for yourself, Kat? I have other friends that do that too, though. Try and make things Pattern Keeper compatible. I only use Pattern Keeper for my full coverages because I want it to be able to search symbols. Otherwise, like, I can count myself. I can highlight I use GoodNotes, glutton for punishment. Yeah, just a little bit. Um, like GoodNotes, I can scan any pattern in and then I just highlight over it, etc., etc. So I only use Pattern Keeper for my full coverages. Can't function or count without it. The only reason I do that is because you're always being taught. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. I um I get interrupted, but not a lot, and that's and then I'll just like use the highlighter and highlight 3 stitches, and then I have a little counter app that I tap it into. Keeps track of everything for me. I have both Pattern Keeper and Markup RXP, so I don't have to rechart unless it's a paper pattern. Love Markup. I do have Markup for one of mine, or two. I don't use it very much. Back outside with the kids. Bunny laid down, Nugget laying on the couch, and checked on Robbie. Very nice. You're loving summer too, huh? Markup is for my mermaid sound. Thank you for the follow, Charlie. Hey, Charlie, I think you and I are on the same team in the animal rescue one. Am I correct? I've had patterns that don't work in either. The snow leopard? Yeah. Yeah. I think y'all are working on the snow leopard. I didn't go on the thingy because I'm just not stitching enough. I didn't want to hold y'all back. Hi. Yep. I love it. I think it's so it's cute. We're like rescuing animals and we have this whole sanctuary, but not just normal animals. We get to use supernatural animals and stuff too. Welcome in, Sapphire. Thank you for the follow. All the pop-ups are new to me. I haven't had that in a while. I haven't streamed in a while. I should say I don't have anything consistent going on right now. This was a random, hey, I feel like streaming this morning. Let me just do it. I'm gonna have to go figure out the lunch thing here pretty soon, though. We'll get this heart done. Yeah, it's been a couple months. I haven't like I'm behind on my floss tubes, but I also haven't been stitching as much. Just work and life have been busy. This is so wild. I got rated in here. I didn't know you streamed or anything. Yeah. Like I said, it's been a while since I streamed. Um, I used to do it like twice a week, and I'm both here on Twitch and on YouTube right now. So, oh, ads. I just got to. Okay. The name's the same. It's Sammy J Stitches on both. A couple weeks behind on Floss too, but I'm gonna get caught back up. This is looking so cute. It's so dainty and tiny. How much? Let me look at my notions real quick. Welcome back. Got the up there too. Oh goodness, that's too much. Okay, so what's this one called? January monthly mini. So the snowman was approximately 930 stitches. Again, I'm not always the best counter. Sometimes when I have to frog and restitch, I don't necessarily remember to subtract or add, whatever. Anyway, approximately 930 stitches for this. So of this. I have the link to 123 Stitch for it. Would you like me? Sure. So Kat's gonna post the link to where you can get this pattern, or at least be able to look at it. It's a book. It's got 12 patterns in it. I don't have any in stock right now. I looked the other day when Kat mentioned it. Thank you. Is mine? Oh no, it's there. Okay, I was making sure both chats were showing up on screen. And I totally forgot to do my floss tubers in stream today. I'm sorry, I missed your message, Laurel. You were in summer school the summer between junior and senior year. Why? What did you do, naughty girl? Lexi has classes this summer, but they're college classes, so she just takes them online. So technically she's in summer school right now, but it's just her way of getting a little bit ahead. I know she's got 2 this summer, and then she's got 2 math classes and 2 electives, and she's got her associates. So she'll actually graduate from college before she graduates from high school. Yeah, I failed 3 classes my junior year and had to make them up to graduate. I kind of did too. Well, so I was doing a fast track program and I was supposed to graduate my junior year and failed a couple classes. I was going to have to repeat them, or I failed a couple. I was able to test out of one or two of them in summer. But one of them I could not. Physics, just ugh. But I only failed the second half of the class. So, and they only offer the second half of the class in the spring. So I was gonna have to go a whole nother year for one credit because I couldn't pass it on the credit by exam. So in the fall, I was taking a bunch of, hey, Vintage, welcome in. Thanks for the follow. And Cat. Thank you, thank you. Um, I was gonna have to go a whole nother year for the one class in the spring. And so I took a bunch of fluff classes in the fall, and then I took a week and I went to Disney. And when I came back, they were like, you have too many absences. You're going to have to repeat these classes in the spring and then basically take a whole nother year to get to my physics. And I'm like, but I don't need any of these classes. But because I took them and failed them, I was going to have to read. I don't know. It was a whole mess. So I ended up transferring to a different school and finishing 2 weeks later, like basically credit by examining out. And I graduated in December of so halfway through my senior year. It was a it was a journey. And I actually found out just the other day that because that school doesn't exist anymore, the private school that I went to, and like they had some trouble with accreditation, like I don't even know if my diploma is legit. It is. I mean, they were accredited at the time when I took it, but like if I were to try and go and get it now, I don't know that I could get a copy of it. It's crazy. I failed spring chemistry and made it up with physical science in summer school. Nice. Me, science and I don't get along. We just don't. Had to repeat spring English and algebra in your senior year. Hey, Mama Cat, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. It's getting warm in here because, Texas. How hot is it today? I don't even know. 92 degrees outside. And it's getting on to lunchtime. So I'm going to finish up this thread and then probably finish upstream. I think both I didn't try and I had a bad teacher for chemistry. Sometimes a teacher makes all the difference. Project bags are there. Ooh, I need to order some mailers today. I forgot yesterday. I had a really bad biology teacher and I was about to fail, but then our next door neighbor was a biology teacher and my mom went over there and was like, "Hey, we need your help." And the teacher came to my house and got me caught up. So that's why I didn't fail biology. What kind of project bags did you order, Kat? Are they like the kinds you can get on Amazon? I feel like this one's not going to be as many stitches as January. So I feel like we're already like mostly halfway there. I don't think I'm ready to count that far. So I'm just going to put this over here. All right, y'all. Okay, so today we put a bunch of fabric on fabric boards that I had sitting around needing to get put up. We didn't do any kitting today because I just wasn't prepared for it. Although there's a project I really need to get to. Um, then I had started a new project yesterday, but only had a few stitches in it, so I wanted to get at least 100. So this is one of those Quirky Quakers swirl, and we finished it up to where it got to 100 stitches. And then we started February's monthly mini on from Primrose Cottage because I needed a new start today. I have a bunch of the Quakers on here. I've got room for the squirrel that I'm working on and 2 more down here, and then I'm gonna have to find a new piece of fabric. So I think that is it for me today. I don't think I'm gonna stream again this week. We have our family reunion next weekend, and I have a lot to get prepared for that. So I will try to hopefully be here the week after at some point. I appreciate everybody joining me. I need to figure out. It's been so long. Can I rate out? My YouTubers, y'all are just gonna poof into midair, but I think. All right. Work list for OC board can't to see how we do that. Right. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see y'all all again very soon. Have a good day, y'all.